Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever and whenever you are. Welcome. My name is Adrian, and I will be your host for tonight's case of 41 of the Redacted Party Chat podcast. With me today, as usual, are my fantastic, lovely co-hosts. Today, I think we should start things off with a little bit of classy before we get trashy. So, Vaughn, how are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm good. The carpet cleaners came because I get a free one every X amount of time, and I have to walk around with damp feet for about 8 to 10 hours. And I love
Question.
it. Yes.
Because did you take your socks off at least?
The second my foot hit the carpet and it slowly got damp, I'm like, I'm not doing this. And I wore shoes around my house.
Okay, that's acceptable. I know people that like because I cleaned the carpet when I had carpet here. I've cleaned it, and I've like wearing I take my socks off. I know people that walk around in like damp socks on the carpet.
Oh, dude, you got to clean the socks.
Which is
obviously.
Like, yeah, they have a whole fucking machine for that. Wearing damp socks around is just psychotic behavior.
2 birds, 1 stone. Simple.
No, this ain't Vietnam.
This ain't Vietnam.
And it seeps in between the toes like this.
Right. He's like, yeah, we got to do a river crossing. Perfect.
No.
I needed to clean my socks.
No.
We get closer to the enemy and my socks are cleaner.
No.
No, no.
I wore shoes until that bitch was dry.
Oh, fuck.
Well, that's it. That was it.
Okay, and now to the aforementioned trashy. Brandon, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Let me know. Tell me what the air smells like. What does it taste like right now? Because I beat Gogmazios, and you did not.
I did.
Damn it, he did. I forgot.
Gogmazios before everybody else did.
That blew up in my face instantly.
That
fight is awesome.
Not inviting me to fucking fight Gogmazios.
Dude, I guess we could talk about it in the wind down, but man, I want to talk about that. I just want to put a pin in that for sure. But yeah, I'm good. I have nothing to complain about. Complaining is not really the only thing life is about, so I mean, I don't have really anything else to talk about. So,
no, fair enough.
I realize I say that every time, like, oh, no complaints.
I mean, that's a good thing to say. I mean, but also that
we know you're lying.
We just handle business around here. We could just get it done around here. So it is what it is. And I am doing okay. Just working, and need to get my black ass back in the gym for sure. Just been doing a lot of work and trying to get a little bit of rest in. Kind of got hit with the wave of exhaustion that comes with such a schedule and such a poor sleep schedule. So like the past few days, my body's like, listen, we'll go to work, but after that, we are going to lay down for at least a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So it is unfortunate because I have things to get done, but I try to push that out of my mind because I'm like, it's hard to get things done when you die of exhaustion. So, yeah, I'm all good. And if everybody else is also all good, we can commence. We have the single question today, and that is, what justifies a sequel to you? Using, for example, Assassin's Creed 2 compared to something like Overwatch 2. Which I actually really like this question. I've always had kind of a small list for it, but who would like to go first? I will pick if I don't get volunteers. We're starting with Brandon.
That was my question too, so it works out. I think Overwatch 2 is like one of the most egregious lies ever told. Like, that shit is not a sequel. And they even dropped the 2. I think it's ridiculous. And then Assassin's Creed 2 completely overhauls everything about Assassin's Creed 1. I think it's like the perfect example of what sequels have kind of started to turn into, where it's just iteration. And in my opinion, it's like, dog, just drop an expansion. You know, it's like the difference even between, like, I hopped into Monster Hunter World last night just to see the difference. It's night and day. It's like when I was streaming Dragon's Dogma, Vaughn had been playing Dogma 2 a little bit, and he was like, man, the difference between this and 2 is staggering. It's like, that is what you should feel when you see a sequel. Like, whoa, I can't believe this is even the same franchise. I think, I don't know, like, the Far Cry series has completely fallen apart because of this. It's just endless iteration. Like, I don't think iteration justifies sequel. I know that's maybe a hot take, but it's like, we're in an age where you have things like Warframe and No Man's Sky, where it's like they'll drop an update that fundamentally changes the whole game.
Right.
So why are you calling this Overwatch 2? Why are you calling this? I actually had a short little list here. Why, you know, honestly, to take, I know it's a good game, but like, even Saros, like, that's just Returnal, dog. That's just Returnal. It's orange. Like,
you really could. It's and I haven't played it yet, but it does seem as though it's like you could have made almost like a character select option, and then change the gameplay mechanics around selecting one character or the other for the changes that they implemented.
Maybe one that's on the same level as Overwatch 2, and a lot of people aren't going to like this. Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Destiny 2 is the same fucking game. Like, it was the same. I remember when Destiny 2 got announced, I was like, oh my god, this might actually be cool. And I watched that gameplay and I was like, this is indistinguishable from the first one.
I'll be honest, I would argue, and in all fairness, they kind of tried to do something along the lines of just updates. Damn near every Call of Duty that's like I would say the last 2-3 iterations of Black Ops have been relatively similar. I'd maybe say last two have been incredibly similar, to the point of you could have just expanded it. And then because they have like the Warzone stuff is just all one interconnected thing. It's free, so it's all running together. Even all the stuff I've seen from the multiplayer and watching streamers play it, they really are like, I'm not seeing anything different that wasn't in the other different guns, but it's like that stuff comes in patches, but like the movement's the same, the tech is the same. The only thing they're giving you is like additional maps, maybe some additional weapons, and that's really it. Back in the day, I guess it could be more justified, but now it really has gotten to the point where it's like they've implemented all the mechanics. I think that the one could, I mean, I feel like they're jam full at this point. It's like, all right, you guys really can't jam anymore in this fucking game. Like, you really can't.
Right. And that's where, I mean, people have talked about it forever. It's like, it's very surprising. I thought they were kind of going to do it with Warzone, but it's very surprising that they never just dropped all that and just dropped Call of Duty as a free-to-play thing with skins and blah, 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 and almost took just the literal Fortnite route. Call it Call of Duty. And then even to kind of piggyback off of what Battlefield did with Portal, where you could load into the old Battlefields. Like, make Call of Duty a enormous Call of Duty. If I want to play Call of Duty 2, the big red one right now, support it. Why not?
Yeah, but then you get stuff like the Black Ops 1 and 2 remaster or whatever dropping, and they made, which wasn't even like a remaster,
they made more money than
they made huge buku bucks off it. So it's like they need to leave that door open. I mean, need air quotes, you know, from
100%.
From a corporate standpoint, they need to leave that door open for the possibility of making those boosts. But Call of Duty is weird, and I just want to say the community kind of surprised me with like the backlash that they gave with like Call of Duty just getting more and more ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care. I don't have enough love for the Call of Duty series to like get up in arms about it. Maybe back in the day, but like now I got too many games that I love playing that have nothing to do with Call of Duty. And even, even then it was like I like playing Call of Duty with other people. But yeah, people threw a whole fit about like when they released which was weird that Beavis and Butthead was like the straw that broke the camel's back when they were releasing, they had a full fucking Godzilla, I thought that was really cool. They had like a full Godzilla in Warzone and stuff like that, and King Kong, and then people are like, they put Beavis and Butthead in the game. This is trash. What is
Nicki
this?
Minaj.
Yeah, what is this? Looney Tunes? It's like, I mean, I agree with what you're saying, brother, but why this one specifically? They've been being ridiculous for a long time, and this is what is the thing that you can't stand.
It's pretty much just the scraps of Fortnite and what they couldn't get,
which ain't much.
Right?
It's just not fucking much because they got everything else. They've got anime, they've got comics, they've got. I'm surprised they don't have like Frasier on there.
Well, you've said it out loud, so be prepared.
If Fortnite gives me a Tim Allen skin from Home Improvement, I am absolutely jumping.
Oh, I'm spamming that noise constantly. Someone walks by a bush. What was that?
We're in danger. Don't make eye contact. Just move very slowly.
Just the first 5 notes of the theme song.
They just look over and it's me peeking over a fence. I'm sorry, Brad. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. My brother texted me and it kind of threw me off for a sec.
You're too young for that.
I just want to throw out some examples of games that did actually do really good sequels. I'm sure I can find even more, but I think like Horizon 2, Forbidden West is so much better. It's hard to go back to the first one. Alan Wake 2 is so much better. It's in retrospect playing these live streams, like, good Lord, Alan Wake 2 is way better than Alan Wake 1. Arkham City compared to Arkham Asylum, even though Arkham Asylum is still 10 out of 10, but you go back to it after playing the newer ones, and you're like, damn, like, this is a dramatic improvement. And one last one, because I got to keep my hate going. God of War Ragnarok sucks, and that is a terrible sequel to God of War 2016 or 2018.
Okay.
I just want to throw that out there. They didn't improve anything. They made it slower, worse, and boring. So just want to throw that out there.
So I kind of have a couple questions. First and foremost, and this is, general. It's not just specifically you. Do you guys feel that there's like a different criteria, essentially, to justify a sequel of a game that is primarily story focused as opposed to multiplayer focused? Because we name like the Overwatch 2s and stuff like that, and it's like that gameplay loop is the same gameplay loop, but like using games like, for example, I feel like it's tough with games that are like older, because I don't think any system could have handled any more, like how Arkham City, like at the time that game was massive. It was huge. Like I think you would almost have to, due to like hardware restrictions. But like using an example like Last of Us 1 to Last of Us 2. I feel like that game like fully justified a sequel. Same with like the Uncharted series. Using games like that as an example, like those games 100% justified a sequel. Do you think it's like the almost time skip nature of it, or do you feel like I'm just trying to figure it out? Because I have the same question myself, because I've been kind of asking what the difference between a story-based justification would be and a multiplayer-based justification would be, because I feel like that there's got to be some kind of different criteria for the two.
For me, I would say with multiplayer, I would strongly lean towards like you really don't need a sequel most of the time, personally. Like, and I can't even really think of. I mean, Call of Duty kind of gets away with it because they'll do like a future one and then an old era one. So those feel pretty different.
And those are like different titles, technically speaking.
Yeah.
They're so like that's almost not even a sequel so much as it is. It's just like a whole different iteration of the game, technically.
As far as like a story one goes, I think Last of Us 1 to 2 is a great example. Uncharted 1 to 2, it's not just like a new story. It's like the physics have been overhauled. The level design is completely overhauled. Like you're hitting a whole new stride of game design as a whole. Like you've dramatically improved every single aspect from top to bottom. There's not one aspect of Uncharted 2, Forbidden West, Arkham City you can't point to and been like, this is dramatically improved. Whereas, not saying that it's a bad game by any stretch, but take something like Ghost of Tsushima to Yote, it's iterative, right? And even if they have changed from what you were telling me, Vaughn, like the structure, instead of it being like a Ubisoft A to B, it's a little bit more RPG where you're like kind of stumbling into stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool. I guess let me ask you, would you say, well, I guess I don't know because I need to know what your criteria is first before I ask you by my standards, you know?
I'd agree with the multiplayer thing that you really don't see a multiplayer focused sequel loop anywhere. Usually it's accompanied by a single player game, so it by nature is included. But I kind of go with like this theory weirdly came to me when you posted this topic. There's like 3 criteria that I have, and you have to have at least 2 of the 3 for me to be interested in your sequel. First one, like a narrative continuation. So the narrative needs to be one that like brings meaningful change compared to the previous game. Like it's actually driving these characters forward and not just shoehorned on and boring to get a sequel out. The second is like staying in the same universe. So having like new characters is fine, but if you're putting them in a completely different universe that isn't related to the first one, that's kind of shit. It'd be like putting Uncharted in space in the next one, and it just doesn't make sense. And then the third one is a complete overhaul of the gameplay. Like if you're fundamentally changing, or maybe not changing, but improving upon what was good of the first and then making that better, that's a third criteria. And my theory is, as long as you have 2 of the 3 of those, I'll be interested in. So, for example, you can have like the narrative continuation and staying in the same universe, but if you don't improve the gameplay, you don't need a sequel. You can be in the same universe and improve the gameplay, but if you don't have a good narrative continuation, you don't need a sequel. And then you can have like gameplay overhaul and good narrative continuation, but if you're not in the same universe, I don't care. That's my
it's tough theory. Because like I actually really like that. Because I was gonna say like that's how games essentially that's how games I feel like historically have felt justified in doing that. And get what comes to mind is games that have a actual, which this is a unicorn these days, so hold on to your pants. Games that actually have a good narrative and a good multiplayer. What first game that comes to mind is Gears of War. That gameplay did not change much.
No.
Barely changed between 1, 2, and 3. I'm pretending the other ones don't exist because nobody cares. Yeah, the narrative was the same, took place in the same universe, but the gameplay ultimately did not evolve much. Really, a lot of the stuff that they did was just balancing. You know, they were balancing stuff around, but ultimately the gameplay was almost identical. They added a new couple weapons, and that was really it. But it felt valid because the narrative of Gears of War was incredible. I loved the narrative of the first 3 games, and I thought it was really cool. One could almost say the same. And keeping in mind, honestly, I feel like this kind of question really, I'm not saying it's never been relevant, but it's really, I think, mainly relevant now that we're hitting. I think a big component of why this is a relevant conversation is due to what we've talked about before, but what I firmly feel is kind of like us hitting the apex of like graphical fidelity. So basically, I think this is something that comes up specifically due to like a topic that we've discussed before, which is we are kind of at the apex event horizon of like graphical fidelity in gaming. I'm sure there's things that somebody's going to come up with some new shaders or some shit. But I think realistically, like we are kind of at the point where graphical improvement is going to stem off and people are going to kind of try to stray away from that just because, as we talked about, ironically enough, with like the Gears reveal, I don't care. And that's what the whole comment section would say in any of the videos I watched on that review. It was just like, we don't care, we don't care, we don't care. You're telling us shit, we don't care. You know, so back in the day, that would have been relevant, and back in the day, that was necessary. So I think this is just a much more relevant discussion to be had now because it's like, yeah, Halo 1 to Halo 3 to modern day Halo, whether you like them or not, it's like, yeah, justified in a sequel. The complete graphical overhaul, incredible leaps in hardware, leaps in software. It needed to happen just because we were evolving. The industry was evolving. But now that we're hitting a point in which we are, I personally don't see, maybe I lack the vision, but I personally do not see the evolution of graphical fidelity going any further to the point where that is a relevant metric. And I think that's why this is kind of a super relevant topic, just because, what those games, whether those games meet the criteria, the 2-point criteria. I might use that. I'll be honest. I'll see if there's any tweaks I can make for my own personal, but I really like that metric. But it's like there could at a point in time there could have been a fourth metric, and there's no longer a fourth metric. Graphical improvements are no longer a metric that could be on that list. So those games kind of justified their own existence. How would you feel about people moving towards, because I'm saying this, how would you feel about people moving towards like essentially not doing or moving away from a sequel type structure in games that you feel would qualify? So like they stopped doing Last of Us, whatever. They stopped it, like God of War. What if they stop? I know you don't care, but just using these games as an example, like what if they didn't do any more God of War standalone sequels and they were just kind of giving you like iterative DLC packs?
I'm not fully against it, but I'm not for it per se, because I think it just really depends on. So, and I swear I'm not just picking on God of War. It's just the example.
No, it's
just God of War to me seems like it's being iterative because ultimately you don't really have like a vision, as harsh as that sounds. Whereas the jump from Last of Us 1 to 2, that gameplay is night and day, 10 times better than the first game's gameplay. Facial, all that. Everything is such a step up, whereas like God of War to Ragnarok or Yote to or Tsushima to Yote are very iterative, Saros, blah, blah, whatever. And in a story mode game, because when you said that, I kind of thought of something like The Wolf Among Us or something, where it's like you take Ragnarok's story and then you start spacing it out, or you were to get
make it episodic.
Or if you were to get, like, let's just say with LaFay being the end of the trilogy, let's just say if you were to just get those as updates, $30 updates, $40 updates, I would be more into that because I think it would keep my expectations more in check. It's like, this is an extension. And it kind of goes to what Vaughn's saying, where it's like, this is now this universe. This is the God of War. It'd be God of War, boom, with the, the Nordic vibe or whatever.
Because when you look at it when you look at it that way, and to be honest,
they could do it now.
It's funny because
could do it now.
Yeah, it's funny because I watch Fleekazoid all the time, and he always makes fun of, like, he calls them like the Sony movies. He pretty much says like it's not gameplay, they're just movies that you're watching. But because it would eliminate, and I think there's part of like the sequel aspect of it. It sounds funny, but it's just psychology and how people work. I think eliminating the numbers would honestly be a benefit to the studio because you would then be releasing, like, say you wanted to release within, and I'm just going to keep using God of War because it's, it's, I think it's relevant enough. Relevant enough. I mean,
I know, I'm
you,
just trolling,
you I say
honestly.
you could apply it to whatever you want. Realistically, you could apply it to Uncharted, whatever. It's like you could do Uncharted and just blank Uncharted,
Yeah.
and then just add the DLC. Add the DLC. And then when you wanted to do a sequel, you do it like they do in a movie. You don't say, I mean, I guess some movies do, but movies don't use numerical systems anymore.
Yeah.
It's all, it's Godzilla. Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Godzilla,
-0.
yeah, -0. Like no one uses the sequel thing. So it's like you could still make your quote unquote sequel like its definitive own self-contained universe or whatever, w- you know while still kind of doing away with kind of like a more archaic numerical system, and iterate on a specific portion of that universe over and over again without making people, while like you said, keeping people's expectations in check by not making it a full sequelized release.
Yeah, I also think that, like, take a story game out, like where that is the core focus. Let's say Elden Ring, Monster Hunter, Dragon's Dogma. Let's take those three. Yes, they all have good stories. Well, Monster Hunter doesn't, but they have stories. But you're there for the gameplay,
Mhm.
right? Like, in my opinion, there's no reason there should be an Elden Ring 2 or a Dragon's Dogma 3 or a new Monster Hunter unless you are about to have a fundamental change. Like, dude, imagine if Elden Ring were to drop another Shadow of the Erdtree DLC this year. People would be
Yeah.
right back on Elden Ring. You'd have your character. Holy shit, they added a whole nother giant section. You could let Elden Ring go on, drop a big DLC every year, and it would keep its relevance.
Well,
100%, no doubt in my mind, without saying Elden Ring 2. But then when you drop Elden Ring 2, and let's just say you're flying around and casting spells and whatever, it's like, oh, that's Elden Ring 2. But if Elden Ring 2 comes out and it's Elden Ring and I'm doing this fucking Dark Souls combat still, it's going to be like, it's going to sting.
it's funny that you point those guys out, those three studios out specifically, because historically they've been incredible on doing kind of exactly what we're talking about, where
Mm-hmm.
they're not going to release a sequel. Like they all are known for giving you DLCs and DLC packages with the game that are so big that they rival the size of the original game.
Mm-hmm.
Like shit that is almost big enough to be justified a sequel
Oh,
in most
100%.
people's eyes. So it's funny that, but I mean, it just goes to show all those studios and those games are incredibly successful. They're doing incredibly well for themselves, and they're not trying to nickel and dime you effectively with here's 1.5, here's 1.5
Right.
and
And
3/4 the Midnight Resonance. Like,
I guess
what are you doing here?
the final point was just to kind of piggyback off of what you were saying about effectively diminishing returns.
Don't quote me.
Like, dude, Monster Hunter Wilds plays beautifully. I really don't like update that bitch for fucking 5-10 years. I don't care. This
Yeah.
plays great. I don't really. It looks amazing. Yeah, I mean, you could do a Monster Hunter Wilds 2 or whatever they're going to end up calling it, but it's just like, I don't know if it'd be more. I don't know. It's interesting to know what would be more viable from a money standpoint and then from a consumer standpoint. Because as a Monster Hunter or Elden Ring or Dragon's Dogma fan, opposed to sitting around nebulously waiting for a sequel, it's like, it'd be cool to know that there's like, they do this for the games. I don't give a fuck.
Well,
I don't care about Destiny and all the. It's like I like ESO a lot, but like, give that structure to FromSoft, to Monster Hunter, whatever, and just
well,
expand.
I mean, but that's the thing. It's exactly they're doing specifically Capcom. I think is doing a really good job of doing exactly what we're talking about, where they are, and yeah, FromSoft has selection in terms of like gameplay style, obviously with Bloodborne and Sekiro and stuff like that. But that doesn't take place in the same universe. Capcom is taking games that technically take place in the same universe, and then they're giving them different titles, and those games are playing different while still iterating on already. So it's like they're giving DLC to Wilds, but they also released Rise, and Rise plays drastically different to the rest of the games. So there's still, you can still make your money, and still appease a wider audience. There's people that love Rise. There's people that love that gameplay, and they're going to buy it up, and Capcom's going to make their money. People are going to get their variety. They're going to get, and it's a little tougher with them specifically because of, it's like you said, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, nobody really gives a shit about the Monster Hunter story, but it still takes place in the greater Monster Hunter universe. You don't feel like you're in a different place doing a different thing. You're not like, what the hell am I doing here?
I admit people don't necessarily care. Weirdly enough, I kind of like the story. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying it's good.
Oh yeah, no,
great,
I mean,
I wouldn't say get rid of it or anything like that.
No. Yeah. I'm just saying they don't have to find a way to, like, just because when you're bringing up like financial viability, stuff like that, it's like they have proved that you can make a suitable story, like a serviceable story for a game, and keep the same gameplay, and not have to iterate a whole lot on it, and just kind of make, like, because it's arguable that the stuff that they do with the DLCs, the end game DLCs, it's arguable that is like overhauls. Like that's massive overhauls in the game. So it's like it's weird.
It's like the old hunters, and
yeah, it's weird that we have, kind of have to have those conversations about, like, essentially, is it viable? Does it make sense, when there are studios actively out there proving that it is very much viable and very much making sense? It's one of those, are other studios stuck in their own ways? Are they just being, like the old ways of doing things where everything needed a sequel? Are they being greedy, or do they genuinely just feel like it justifies a whole nother sequel? Because we're using our criteria. This is our criteria for the sake of discussion, but it's like, I'm assuming they might have their own criteria, because from a business standpoint, it would probably, I got to assume they talk about things like this simply for the fact that financial viability of making a whole nother fucking game. It's like, it would make more sense if I could just iterate on a game if it was financially viable. These studios are not going to just throw away money, I'd like to think. So it's like, do they genuinely believe that these justify sequels? If I could just iterate on my game, using the example, Fortnite, they just iterate on the game, just add new shit to the game, and they don't really do anything else. It's like, that's an incredibly successful business model. Obviously, it's got to be tweaked depending on the genre of game you're doing, because
Fortnite overhauls itself, though, dramatically. Like, they do pretty wild shit in Fortnite.
Right, but I'm just saying,
like, I guess that's a part of my question as well, is like, it's funny that everybody chases Fortnite, but not that many truly commit to what Fortnite commits to, because they don't blow up instantaneously, maybe. But like, Fortnite could get away with a Fortnite 2 and make it a cultural spectacle.
I don't think they could get away with a Fortnite 2.
Really?
I think Fortnite could do what they said they were going to do from the start, and almost make it like how RuneScape just released their new thing, which is obviously incredibly different than the old RuneScape. But it's like, I think they could release a Fortnite, $30-$40 game that actually just took like the Fortnite gameplay and mechanics and applied it differently outside of a multiplayer setting. I think they could get away with that, but I think a full-blown sequel, I find that, especially, and you got to think, the more, and it's part of like when because people did throw a little fit with Destiny, when Destiny, kind of dropped Destiny 2 after Destiny 2 was out for a little, like once the hype wore away and people realized like they really weren't getting much else, They were kind of upset because really all you're going to do, it's like the amount of money people spent in Fortnite. It's like you do hit a point where people have spent too much money in this single game, and your what you're giving them needs to be equivalent to essentially surrendering that investment. They people have invested so much money in Fortnite 1. What are you going to give them on a Fortnite 2 that is going to justify no longer playing Fortnite 1? And then, as Destiny already laid the blueprint for, you know, are so what's going to happen when you shut down the servers? Ultimately, like that's the question. People could say, I'm fine with trying out a Fortnite 2. Yeah, but that all changes when you say, okay, well, we're shutting down the servers for Fortnite 1. All your money that you've invested is gone now.
They also already put out a original Fortnite where you were running around as a group, like actually forging things and building things and playing missions. That's Save the World mode now. So, and that's just kind of a random thing that they randomly update in the background. You can still play it and earn like V-Bucks, but it's kind of a null mode at this point. I will answer your previous question. I wish I could get out of my own brain and look at it in a positive outlook, because it would be cool to have multiple smaller iterations of the same game to keep you interested and connected. But the realistic part of my brain is like, that wouldn't be financially viable. There's only so many devs out there, especially after all the layoffs, that could you reasonably believe that you'd have a team constantly reiterating on the same game while also building a potential sequel? It's hard for me to imagine that, and I wish I wasn't so jaded, because it would be awesome to have that constant flow of content, and then by the time you finish that content, the sequel's ready to come out, and people aren't leaking it, and you can get surprised that, oh, hey, I just finished the 3rd DLC of Alan Wake 3. Alan Wake 4 is out next week. Like, that'd be fucking rad.
Yeah.
But
hell yeah.
It's just like, it's not financially viable. It's not availability viable. It's super depressing to think about, but yeah, hate it.
I think it's definitely like less possible in a story context, like an Alan Wake. I don't think that would really work too well. But in the case of something like a Monster Hunter, I think it would work perfect. The game's already an endless loot grind, gameplay focused thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's very game specific. Like you could get away with it for like sports games. You could get away like Monster Hunter. A lot of multiplayer games could get away with it. I don't know about Elden Ring, honestly. Just the way that they work. Have they added anything to Night Rain?
Well, and that's what
sucks.
So that's no, for sure. And that's actually like a whole other can of worms that I kind of want to read into, because they are getting, like, parent companies are getting bought. Like, there's a whole big thing going on with FromSoft. We don't even know who the hell owns FromSoft damn near at this point. It's like there's so many big players involved.
Kadokawa and Sony and
somebody named
Bandai.
Like,
yeah, they're fighting. They're fighting for percentages of this company, and at a certain point, someone's going to have a majority percentage, and then shit's going to hit the fan. So
somebody recently just, I think Tencent had like sold a large portion. I can't remember the name of this company is, but this company is known for like egregious, very, very bad financial practices in like mobile games. Now, that's not saying that that's going to
Tencent.
It's someone else. They had a name. It was like Bliss, or it's some weird name like that. But apparently they were like trying to charge people for extra jumps in Mario games on phones and shit. Like, it's super crazy stuff. Now, I highly doubt that would ever affect From Software to that degree.
Right.
And if it did, Miyazaki ain't having none of that. He'll probably just leave. Like, he would just straight up leave the whole situation. But yeah, as far as what you mean with Elden Ring, like, Elden Ring reshaped the whole structure of their company. I can't even imagine that I guess there's no need to imagine because it's reality, but like, why you wouldn't take a large portion of the team and be like, Go work on Elden Ring shit now. We're hiring for the Elden Ring team. This is getting turned into a movie. This is getting turned into an anime. We have a Night Rain thing. Go make a big DLC for this that comes out every 2 years. Keep Elden Ring relevant until we figure out how we even want to do an Elden Ring 2. If we even want to do an Elden Ring 2. That way you can at least keep Elden Ring relevant, because Elden Ring is probably always going to be relevant. It's relevant in the way that, any cultural phenomenon game is going to be.
Right. And it's hard to, it's important to compare other companies to these hyper successful companies, because obviously I would like more companies to be hyper successful, and the reason that they are so successful is because of the quality of product they produce. But it is hard to compare it because they're kind of operating on not only a completely different scale, but they're operating on a whole different level. They're playing 4D chess while everybody else is playing checkers. Like other people are trying to get franchises started and keep franchises alive while they are dropping the most awarded games of all time that have universal praise, a rabid fan base, and it's like almost like they can't even fucking miss if they tried, type of deal. So they are relevant because they do the damn thing. Lord, do they do the damn thing. But at the same time, it's like they are one of those companies that I'd say are very close to like almost an outlier type of thing, where comparing what anybody else is doing to what they're doing is, for lack of a better term, just not even fair. Like it just really isn't, because they're on a different level. But it is important. I mean, as I say all the time, it's like you don't compare yourself to F students. If you want to be the best, you don't walk around fucking comparing yourself to Bungie.
F is for fantastic.
Yeah, like that is a good point of like comparing yourself to Bungie or like these effectively failures. It's funny because that's where it gets so blurry, because we love FromSoft and Capcom because of the high quality and the way you guys push the medium forward and blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, money, business, corporations, da da da, and on paper, those guys are the winners because they made the most money. But they're not going to last and are showing they're not lasting. So it's not necessarily copying their homework or following the F student, but kind of taking even if you did get a one-hit wonder, it's not necessarily how do I put this? It's not necessarily that you were lucky, but you maybe touched lightning, even if you didn't like mean to. Lightning struck you, you didn't catch it. Right. If that makes sense. Right. So it's like somebody who's actually able to zero in on that.
Bethesda.
Well, and like my thing with it is, and I think kind of a point that's formulating in my brain as we're kind of talking about this, it's I don't want or need, obviously everybody wants incredibly high quality games, so I can't say I don't want that. But I'm not asking for a FromSoft experience, and I don't want a fucking Bungie experience. I would be honestly, what I really like about this question is just really like about the discussion in general and kind of putting out these criteria is because I would love to kind of formulate a solid kind of game plan, I guess is the best way to put it, or template for everybody to make at a bare minimum a mid-tier game. I would be more than happy to see more mid-tier games come out that are just solid gameplay experiences with an ability to iterate upon them or add DLC content and just have kind of like obviously it's not going to happen. It's madness, but it would be, that's what I'm.
Sean Layden did talk about wanting to bring back the AA game. And I feel like that's what you're talking about. So
yeah. And I think I think any discussion on the topics is important. I think people need to talk about these things. But I think this is kind of the stuff people need to talk about when it comes to this, because one of the first things you do outside of creating a story, which it sucks because you know how they are in the industry. It's like part of their storyboarding and development involves the next iteration of a game, which I think is just incorrect. I think that's incorrect. I think you should write a story, and if as you're writing that story, if that story justifies the sequel, or further following up upon, then you should do it. At least that's story writing 101, as I understand. But I think people should be able to incorporate some of these ideas when they're putting these games out there, or when they're when they're getting the game going, so they're not effectively, if you set your expectations at somebody producing high on a crazy level and you're making that part of your business plan, I think you're going to be setting yourself up for failure. And I think if people have a more realistic expectation of what they need to be doing to be successful, then at a bare minimum you can get a foothold. They're trying to leap to the cliff, to the top of the cliff, and get a grip, when they could just build a foothold and work their way up. But it's it's like, all right, well, if everybody's trying to take this fucking leap every time instead of build a foothold, then we're going to see a lot of bodies at the bottom of this mountain. Yeah, I would be much more satisfied seeing a bunch of people slowly ascending the mountain than a bunch of people falling because they're just trying to grasp this thing that they can't because their expectation is somewhere goofy and silly.
The problem is there's too many of those bodies right now at the bottom, aka the layoffs. Like, what are the chances that those people that got laid off are ever going to re-enter the gaming industry?
Well, I mean, it's those were that's the sad part is the people making the leap is the company, and those people were just piggybacking on them. And I don't say that in a negative way. They said, "Hey, jump on my back, I'll take you up the mountain." And then essentially against their will, they were like, "All right, we're going to make the leap." And they're like, "Please don't do that." They're like, no, we got it. I got it. I'll take the leap. Please don't make that jump. You're not going to make that jump. And then they're like, "We're going for it." And then they make, they bungee slips, and everybody that's been riding on their back, trusting them to take them to the top is like, "You're a dickhead."
It makes me, in that particular situation, it makes me think of the topic Dylan had brought up of dev tools being just so much more accessible now, and the old guard breaking and all these layoffs happening. You're going to probably get, I mean, what's the game that won RPG and Game of the Year and it was all the award? 33, Expedition 33. Like, Isn't that a bunch of Ubisoft people that left and made like a little startup thing? It's like, you're probably going to get a lot of that. So I'm not, it is, once again, kind of to touch on that topic I want to do before we were starting. It's like, it is sad, but from chaos comes order, and order comes chaos. It's like, there's these people, if they were talented, they're going to make something. They're not going to find their way, doing HVAC. Those people are going to flourish. I want to jump back real quick to what you're saying about like the diminishing turns and graphics and whatnot. I think where things need to go is, for example, like in the mound looks good. It has good graphics, blah, blah, whatever. But, everything looks good now. So it doesn't really matter all like that. But what gets me with the mound is, for example, like when you're running from monsters, if you run through trees, the branches slow you down. And then once you get through them, they snap loud and it pisses the forest off. It's mechanics like that need to just be layered into good looking games because the chase for graphics is just, I don't know. I've been over that for.
It's over. Like I said, that I saw that when I watched the Gears of War thing, the comments were filled with nothing but "shut up" and nobody cares. Care. We do not care.
It's I hope deeply that the industry just leans into, okay, we figured out graphics. Let's lean into making the world interactable again and not just a stage play. I hate you, God of War Ragnarok. And like just stuff like that, make the fucking game interactable, man. Make it touchable again. We went through this whole, which is kind of funny you were saying about the the guy saying the Sony movies, right? And the funny thing is that the ones that everybody likes are the ones that are like movies, and the ones that are playable nobody cares about. Like nobody cared about Horizon allegedly, even though it sold a bunch of copies. It's like, dude, Horizon's gameplay is immaculate.
I didn't play the second one. Did they even
Dude,
did they
so
like
good.
did they iterate on that gameplay or
Dog, it is so good. Like Horizon 2 is not a great intro, I'll give you that. It's exposition heavy. Like they're trying to catch you up and assuming you didn't play.
yeah.
But dude, the minute you're let loose, that is some of the coolest open world action combat in a game, flat out.
In my notes here, though, I'm seeing Peach Fuzz.
Right, exactly. So this is exactly the point, though. It's like one little narrative, one little like headline hits, and now anytime we talk about Horizon, it's like a Peach Fuzz. You know, it's like this. No one ever talks about how incredible the combat is, how they effectively put Bethesda's specific style of games on watch with that. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. It's like, but we're gonna just glaze.
I want more detail and better graphics in my games. She's too realistic.
I can't believe Kratos is using the same paddle animation. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Oh, fucking.
That was crazy. That was some absolute ridiculous bullshit. It's like
it's fake. It's like you can't even be. That cannot even be a real tagline. I swear to God, I feel like, let's just say like someone like IGN or something who has the clout to make a big splash scrolls through and finds the most ridiculous comment. And it's just like, this is what gamers are saying. It's like, dude, gamers are not saying.
Well, the problem is too. It's like and here's the thing. I find it hard. I don't know. I don't know, because we live in a current age where like there are genuinely people that should not be allowed to have the internet, and so it's like those people exist, but it's hard for me to believe they're that stupid. Like I have to believe it's rage bait.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm torn because I be on the internet. I see these idiots talking, the average person, and I'm like, I mean, they probably got jobs somewhere. Why not? It's not out of the realm of imagination that one of these idiots got a job at IGN, because they're all over the internet as a whole. And then, but it's I know that rage bait is profitable, so it's like, which one is it? Or it could be a third. It could be a little blend of both. So it's like, are you trying to rage bait people by saying ridiculous dumb shit? Are you this dumb? Or did they hire you because you're this dumb and the things you say inherently are rage bait? And that's like, I don't know. I don't know. But that's why nobody listens to them. That's why nobody listens to the IGNs, the Polygons, the Kotakus, none of them.
They've really just fallen out. It's insane.
Not a single one of them has anything remotely approaching like community trust. It's like, I mean, I don't care. It's like it boggles my mind that they fumble the bag so hard. All of them, not a single one was looking at the other one like, seems that they're fucking up. Bring back Game Informer. I will say that.
It did come back.
Oh, I can buy a physical magazine.
Yeah.
Oh, they're independent now. Yeah.
Yep.
I thought they were gonna make me buy the digital shit.
Nope.
No, they got the magazine.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say I'm not buying a non-physical magazine.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. That's just called Google search.
Yeah, you just took all the appeal. Oh shit! I guess I know a subscription I'm getting.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's my preferred way to get gaming news on anything. I've realized it's like back in the day, it gave me just the right amount of hype.
Yeah,
just the right amount of hype.
Yeah, for sure.
Reading those magazines, I didn't get fucked up and spoiled on anything. I could read it and be happy. Yeah, guys, buy Game Informers. Support them doing that. I'm so happy. Like I just brightened my day up realizing that or learning that.
Yeah,
they deserve my shekels.
So. Yeah. So yeah, whenever you guys buy the Mound, and we stream that very soon because they're both gonna buy it. I swear.
I gotta buy Armored
promise
Core
to the crowd.
I gotta buy Armored Core.
Oh yeah, it might not be on sale anymore or sale.
What? Was it on sale for like 2 days?
Probably. Yeah, that's why I said it immediately. It was just like,
fuck, dude, I was gonna buy it this Friday.
Yeah. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Not gonna lie to you, it's kind of an all-timer in my opinion. You're missing out.
I mean,
and you're a robot lover, an OG robot lover.
Yeah, I've been playing hardcore since the jump. Well, I dropped the ball on that one. I apologize. And as retribution, as the kids say, smooth off. It's going smooth off.
We'll figure something out.
Oh, I already figured it out.
Is it still on sale?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Never mind, everybody. Brad's a fucking liar. Shit's on sale till the 30th. This guy sucks.
I said probably. I said it probably is.
That just proves Ragnarok is good. So.
His word can't be trusted. His word can't be trusted.
The mound is a hole.
Nothing to say for himself. You see it. You all saw it here.
Everybody knows the truth.
Everybody knows the truth.
Bethesda sucks. Okay, play something else. Play The Witcher. That's all I got.
Yeah, I mean,
that's all I got. Deluxe edition is $5 more, but I can't justify it because
I guess
digital art book and stuff, which I don't really care about that. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I guess last thing I'll say is it seems like back in the day, the devs, they knew what a sequel meant.
Yeah,
everybody knew. It's kind of like one of those. There was just inherent integrity with everything for the most part, where people are like, well, I'm not going to just waste your time. Now they're like, you think we can get away with calling it Overwatch 2?
It's almost hard to define. That's why I really like this, just discussion, because it's like, it's kind of tough to really make criteria and define it, but it's hard because it was never really a question you had to ask.
Yeah.
You never had to ask the question before. A sequel felt like a sequel. It felt like a whole new thing that justified its own existence by its existence. Now I actually have to ask, which is a crazy idea.
Might have been Call of Duty that changed it.
I find it.
Call of Duty started just coming out yearly. I mean, sports games, I guess, but no one was ever thinking of sports games in the same way they were thinking of Resident Evil. It was like Resident Evil 2 comes out, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 4.
I would say Madden and the 2K series were the originators of the same fucking game.
Completely. No, for sure. It's just with a sport game, it's not to give them an excuse, but boy, oh boy, do you eventually hit a wall with that. Whereas Call of Duty's hitting that in between where, sports people are going to play sports games. Not everybody does that, but like all of us have played a Call of Duty at one point and enjoyed it. So it's just, it hits like a much wider net of people. At least at one point it did. Now there's Scarecrow boss fights. Like Batman. And health bars on the bosses. But whatever. I'm not a fan of that series, so I don't care. It doesn't hurt me. I don't give a shit.
I mean, it hasn't meant anything to me in a long time, which it kind of hurts to say because I want to like things. Contrary to popular belief. Popular fucking belief, I actually like to like things. I enjoy having a copious amount of things. There was a time where I could just be a silly, goofy goober and just be like, oh.
The cool thing is to hate everything, though.
Yeah, it's funny because I will watch other content because for a minute I was like, man, I think we were talking about let's put some happier, upbeat kind of topics. I don't want it to always be so dystopian. And then I'm looking around and I'm like, oh, everybody's on dystopian. I think everybody's in just in a rough place right now. Sometimes it's just raining, man.
Yeah, I don't. Matt submitted a question, and there's gonna be lists. I'll be honest with you. I hate to follow the other trend, but I'm gonna next couple questions I'm putting up is they're gonna be top whatevers, this stuff like that, something where we could talk about and think about it fucking fondly, something fondly for a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
This shit is for the birds. Oh, dude. Call of Duty World War II is only $15. I think I played that game. I think I only played that game for like 15 minutes and then just stopped playing.
No, I think that one is like
that's
really
like the
old, isn't it?
Yeah, that game is like
17 type shit.
Yeah.
Is it the Wind Down?
I think it's about that time. I think we are. If everybody is satisfied with our discussion on this topic, I think it's time to wind down and smooth off. Because
smooth off.
Oh wait, no. I don't have to do that because Brandon lied. Never mind. That was only if I'd failed to get Armored Core.
I was gonna say, are we gonna each play some smooth jazz and see who's his best?
We need like a little a transition with some smooth jazz right there. Time to wind down. That'd be cool.
Oh,
maybe I'll have the time to do that now.
Yeah, seriously. Holy shit.
But yeah,
Gogmozios dead.
Good. Fuck that motherfucker.
Also, want to throw out there, I'm a big sucker for dragon boss fights. Not gonna lie, love a good dragon fight. It's been Midir at the top. I wouldn't say he's
such a cool fight.
I can't say he's beat Midir, but I can't say he's lost to Midir. I feel like it's right there for me.
Isn't that illegal?
What? Hating.
Beating a deer?
The wordplay.
Thank you.
Beating.
It's time for me to go.
It's time for me. It's just fucking.
That's a very Rodney Dangerfield type. It's time for me to go.
I just say with the night.
Dude, I am not. I tell you what, my smooth brain does not pick up on that type of shit. It really, I literally.
It's almost better. It's almost
go into blackout for a minute.
It's almost better when people don't get it for a little bit, and it's like.
Adrian and I playing that one game where you're hitting the baseball back and forth and it gets faster and faster and faster.
Oh, dude, I love that game.
Oh, yeah. What's that game called again?
I can never remember it.
It's in my library.
It's really, really fun.
I play the shit out of that game. It's technically a fighting game, which is crazy.
That's a cool ass game. That is a cool game.
Probably gonna go pro in that.
Yeah. But yeah, Gogmozios is awesome, and not like how to. We were talking about this a little bit, I think me and Vaughn were, but Capcom is hitting the point now. They've always had good graphics, and it's not to say that they didn't have good art direction. It's not that at all. But now their art direction is just hitting like some straight finesse. The straight, like the raw just image of fighting Gogmozios is so crazy looking the whole time. Like the next time we get a free stream, I'm gonna just fight like the 3-4 craziest monsters in that game just to kind of show you. But you get to the last like 10% of his health, and the Proof of a Hero song starts playing, and it's so fucking cool, dude. And yeah, man, I think at least to me, and I could be wrong, but the way that fight read to me is Capcom being like, this is just a taste before Master Rank, because they save the, like, there's regular monsters, apexes, and now this is introducing Elder Dragons, and there's only one. And Elder Dragons have always been a thing in Monster Hunter, but they're kind of like, you know, I mean, Adrian played more Monster Hunter than me. They're special, but not to this degree, where this is like a full-blown set piece. You're crawling up the walls. He's burning the place down. He's doing like, it's like a big cinematic set piece on top of a fight.
I mean, in terms of like their ability to bring it to life,
yeah,
you know, really make you feel like you're having this fucking knockdown drag out fight with a Elder Dragon. I think this is the best it's been, because they had, you know, obviously with like Fatalis and stuff, there's, you know, he's not the only one, but the Elder Dragons have had set pieces. But this game, I think, does a really good job of that with multiple, where it's like him and like Jindahad and fights like that, where you are where you're actively chasing them, and they're, you know, and then obviously all the monsters run, but it's like entire stage transitions and stuff like that. I really
cinematic.
Yeah, really makes me feel like I'm in this crazy fight.
And pretty much all my issues that I was previously having are pretty much gone. I mean, I feel like that hollowness that I had before, where it was like, oh, I got to fight the same thing. Like now with Gogmazios, it feels like a proper end to the base game in a way of like I am definitely satisfied with Wilds. Once again, always gonna say it. Wish all the maps were connected. Whatever. I think it's coming. But yeah, dude, that shit is. It's so cool because we're all in a Monster Hunter chokehold right now. Like everybody is. So we've all just been except for Vaughn. And we've all just beating the shit out of these.
I'm just stupid.
No.
I hate that guy.
No.
Guy sucks.
Boo him. Boo him. No,
it's just I know I'm not trying to whatever. It just bums me out because that combat is so fucking cool and I know you would love it. Like that's what kills me. It's like it's
peer pressure doesn't work on me. So
no, I know. Yeah. It's just like peak Capcom combat, and not even just peak Capcom combat. It's you go back to other big monster fights and anything, and you're like, holy shit, this is not as good as Monster Hunter by a lot.
Oh, and then again, a lot of other games. Monster Hunter is just very particular in that aspect where you're fighting the monsters. A lot of games that have these big things, these big monsters, these big spectacles of this sort, they're I don't want to say glorified QTE events, but it's like you're fighting these fucking monsters. Like I can charge. Obviously, I don't have a parry because I'm not a fucking nerd and I use a hammer. But essentially, I can parry monsters by like this mountain-sized dragon is swinging his claw, and I can charge up my hammer and literally bitch slap his hand away. Like, don't touch me. You know, cool. while you're over there parrying attacks, while Nate's ramming into him with a fucking exploding gun lance. It is just like it really captures what it would be like if it's that
if we're really scrapping with that thing.
It's the ooga booga part of our brain that humans is inherent with most human beings. Like back in the olden days of fighting woolly rhinos and woolly mammoths, like
beast,
literally the same thing. Just you're not nobody's invulnerable or a god being. You're just kind of like, he's chasing Glug right now, so Ugg can stab him from behind. Then he turns around and chases Glug for a little bit, and you're like, good.
That reminds me, we do need to play Night Rain on stream.
Drop rock on him.
Absolutely.
I'm down for that.
Absolutely. And what's funny is talking about, because like my mind immediately jumps like Elden Ring, but Elden Ring has like such a vast enemy variety. But weirdly enough, dude, my favorite fight in Elden Ring is Rykart. It's a gimmick fight, but man, oh man, is it cool as shit. It's like
super cool.
They're pushing in. It started to feel like it's pushing into that territory of you're being cinematic, but I am fighting you. Like I still have to dodge and I still have to attack. I'm more limited, but it's because normally like it's like the Yorn the Giant fight. That's not really a fight. You can just spam the tornado and it's over with. With Rykart, you kind of have to fight to a degree. You can get got. And it's still not forcing you. And that's why I always loved Midir. Because if you're not in his face, he's going to kill you. You have to be in it. Because that's what Monster Hunter solves is like, I could be up under his legs on the backside. He has a direct answer for that. So it's like, it's always a danger no matter where you're at. Not like, oh, the screen's glitching and I'm not locked on, so I'm tagging his leg and it's all glitchy and weird and I'm exploiting it. But
give me some Capcom and From Software collaboration.
The world couldn't handle that.
Yeah, I do love I'd pay good money for that. Just even what would they? Let's see. I'm trying to think of who. I mean, I think Midir could be one that they could just toss over, like just putting those
like into Monster Hunter.
Yeah, and then next DLC or next game that comes out, they just put like fucking Akuma in there for Dark Souls, and you just lose because humanoid enemies are the worst. And if you think there's a humanoid more powerful than Akuma, you're wrong. He's going to beat the brakes off of you.
It would be really sick in Monster Hunter to have like Fortis Sax or something.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I do think because they're basically putting in Nero's engine
Rev
thing as that is basically the gimmick of the DLC for the new Monster Hunter shit coming out. And I can't imagine they're not going to put a Nero crossover with Devil May Cry. Like, that just has to be an absolute given at this point.
Just be a skin. Wouldn't be hard to do, really.
Yeah, because it's kind of cool the way they'll do their crossovers where you'll do like a skin, but their armor set actually has abilities on it, and then they'll transform like Dante in World. It's the Charge Blade, which normally is like a big shield and a sword that turns into an axe. For Dante, he just has Rebellion, and then his shield is like that weird red thing he double jumps off.
Oh, just a sigil.
Yeah, the sigil, and then when he goes into axe mode, it just turns into like it's not Rebellion. I think it turns into
Sparta.
No, not Sparta. It's the electric one from the first game, like Alistair.
Yeah,
it turns into that. So it's like that's cool. That's cool as shit. Same thing with Geralt and Witcher, but it'd be so sick if they do a Dragon's Dogma crossover and put like a Griffin or a Grigori or something.
Makes sense.
Makes too much sense. But outside of that, I've been beating the shit out of people in UFC. Poor Billy Rex PS5. Come see these hands.
Did they fix the? You said they fixed the knees. Was there any other issues that you saw that needed fixed? That got fixed.
The connection thing, is that still going on?
A little bit, yeah. Because it's definitely, for a minute, I'm like, dude, is it my boo-boo internet? But then Jordan's having the same problem. Nate's having the same problem. I'm seeing stuff online. It's definitely them, I think, at this point. But it's definitely not as bad as it was for that first month. That first month was brutal.
I could say, yeah, it's on their end, but I'm pretty sure don't those guys play on Wi-Fi too? So like, it's not their fault, but they deserve it for playing on Wi-Fi,
right?
Like an animal. So
I at first was thinking the same thing, and then I went on like a 35 win streak in Tekken and was like, nah, fuck that game. It's absolutely them. Like Tekken runs like alien software, dude. The game runs so smooth. It's so crazy. And I know there's dorks online that are like, no, it does not. Oh my God, there's like 900 frames. Shut up. You look at Tekken and that shit does not look like any other fighting game, dude. It is so buttery smooth. No.
Well, there's the reason that they're one of the GOATs. And yes, UFC is, fun. People like it, but they're not in the same conversation.
They're not, and that's actually really interesting. I wonder why UFC and For Honor just are not looked at as fighting games. Is it because they're realistic and not 2D anime-esque, combo-oriented?
I feel like, I feel like For Honor would have a better luck than the UFC, but especially when it comes to like the fighting game community, like looking at anything in Evo, those games require predictability. Like things need to be consistent, and in UFC, you could just get slept, and that is just not allowed. So, like for example, in Smash, like when Smash is at Evo, any character that has like an RNG based ability for the most part is banned. Like if they have a possibility that their attack just does a different thing, that character will get banned.
It's the lack of formula.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
If you do a combo one time that is, a decent combo, and then literally the next time you do it, it's an instantaneous kill at the same percentage. It's like they're like, yeah, no, we're not doing this. You're not allowed.
For Honor has a couple characters that are on some boofy shit like that, but 98% of the roster is not. But For Honor's, yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. That is interesting. But we are tiptoeing into August now. And it is Sinking City 2 time, and I can't wait.
You're right there. You're right there in August, baby.
I'm going to get that. Adrian, play it. So up your alley, dude.
Sinking City?
Dude, yes. Go watch a trailer for Sinking City 2 specifically.
I don't doubt you. I just
no, dude, it's. I mean, who knows? It might end up bombing and not being good, but it looks like. It looks like fuck yeah. This is a Lovecraftian Resident Evil game, dude. Yes, this looks great. It looks horrific and violent and everything disturbing. It kind of gives me Evil Within vibes, honestly.
Okay.
It looks like Evil Within, Resident Evil.
I still gotta play Evil Within too.
The Jason Bourne. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Straight sincerity.
There's another stream opportunity right there.
Yeah, it's got an upgrade system.
Which
means
got the word evil in it.
I'm here for it. I mean, really, everybody knows that. Obviously, I'm just going to pour all my points into the pistol because that's what you do. It's what you do in a survival horror game with an upgrade system.
Again,
well, that's what I'm going to
do.
Evil
Within is absolutely top tier. Evil Within 2, I should say.
I don't even remember the first one. I'll be honest with you.
It's good, but it's
that was a lifetime ago, though. At this point,
2014.
I don't like it.
Wicked.
Wicked.
What about you guys? Been playing anything? Well, I know what you've been playing, Vaughn.
I haven't really been playing anything outside of the stream. Just haven't had the motivation to do so. I've been kind of dabbling more into the physical art, like writing and drawing, and
oh, really? Nice.
Creative in that aspect. Yeah,
that's good. It's good.
Yeah, that's like super good. Yeah, no,
that's fuck off a screen for a second. I'm hopelessly just.
Yeah, the direness of work has like really shot me, and sitting behind a screen for 8 hours a day kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and wanted to be more physically creative. So
oh man,
yeah, make some change. That's great. That's nice to hear, especially from somebody I actually care about. Everybody else is nerds. I mean, I want you to take care of yourself, but it's nice that someone I care about is like, you know what, I wanted to make some change, so I did. Like, good.
Well, that's good then that we're recording now, so that comes in just in time for a nice breather.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, you know what would probably make you feel better is if you just start Monster Hunter Wilds and just join on in. You're looking like a.
Remember all that shit you just talked about doing that doesn't relate to this whatsoever? How about you forget about that shit and play games again? You fuck. Okay.
Looking like a hunting horn, man. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Good. I've been Vampire Crawlers, fucking Monster Hunter with Brandon, and then I am absolutely fiending for Doom, dude.
That's
like every time I 100% a level, I just like I could leave a little for me later, but I don't want to. I just love that game. The game goes so hard. It's so metal, and it's absolutely peak gaming. So, and we got the Brandon. Did you get the stuff fixed on your end or what?
Nope, cooked. So weird. He can play it, but I can't.
I mean, I bought it. So like,
right? Yeah.
I'm so confused.
Dude. I feel like honestly, it had to be a perfect storm of like them getting chopped and that glitch hitting, and just do something with game share.
Just do all the things. Do all the things, dude. Delete the game, re-download it, restore the licenses, go to the games page. Did you go to the games page and see if there was an update? Yeah, just do all the fucking things. Do all the things. It's got. I mean, it works now for me, and Lord knows that my luck is ass cheeks. So, if it worked for me, then it's got to work for you.
Yeah.
Because I definitely didn't get lucky. I'll guarantee you that. What? All right. Is everybody satisfied?
Yeah,
Very
cool.
All right. Well, sounds good. Guys, thank you everybody for tuning in to this case 41 of the Redacted podcast. I have been your host for tonight, Adrian.
Brandon.
Vaughn.
Please, oh please, go ahead and check all our socials. Join us on our Discord. We're streaming a ton with a ton of variety. So tune on in for our awesome personalities, fantastic facial hair, and honestly a little bit of self-loathing. Like if you're into that thing, like if you're into it, I'm into
A little bit.
Love a good existential crisis.
I don't want to scare them away, but I just want to get them in. And once they get in there, they're like, you know what? I hate that I'm here. I'm like, welcome.
As long as you sub first and get us to 100.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. We're trying to claw our way up. They say once you get to 100, that's where things really start to pick up. So like, get your ass in here.
We'll really start caring when that happens.
Yeah, get in here. So, all right. But yeah, that's going to be it, guys. Sayonara. Be safe. Take care of yourselves. Read a book. Write a poem. Draw a picture. Have a lovely day. Do some push-ups. Bye.
Bye.
Take care, y'all.